Welcome back to another apologetics-based video. Again, apologetics is not apologizing, it is rather a way for us to determine whether we logically agree with something. Apologetics is meant to be a reason for the hope that you have, a defense for your beliefs. And today I'm defending the fact that there is truth. Now, to some of you, this sounds obvious, and you're like, of course there has to be truth. You can't have wrong without having right. Okay, that's one explanation for truth. And some of you say, truth's relative. And it's you guys I'm really talking to today. But if you're part of that first group who believes that there is truth, let's try and put some logic behind that as well. It's a helpful thing for you. For starters, does truth exist? I believe yes. And if you say, well, exists for you and for me, but it can look different, meaning that your truth is your truth and my truth is my truth, then I will ask about what if my truth says your truth cannot exist? In the formal logic world, the syllogistic logic, that would look like saying A, meaning a thing, must be true in this statement. It's like the light is on. That's true. Then there cannot be another logical statement that simultaneously exists saying A is not true or the light is off. A light cannot be both on and off at the same time. You cannot be breathing and not breathing at the same time. You cannot be speaking and not speaking at the same time. There are certain things you're either doing them or you're not doing them. If your heart is beating, you are alive. You are not alive and dead at the same time. Those are basic truths. You can't have both of those things happening at the same time, otherwise that's a contradiction. If it's truthful, though, it cannot contradict itself. And that's important for the Bible. See, before it gets to spiritual truth, I want to talk about the fact that we know there are certain absolute truths. See, absolute truth is another way to combat relativism. Relativism says, well, that's your truth and that's my truth, and I'll ask, are you absolutely sure that there's no absolute truth? See, if you're absolutely certain there's no absolute truth, that's an absolute truth, which negates your entire premise. It's important. Another way, because not everyone understands the logic side of things, is to throw questions out there. That would look like, do you believe in mathematical truth, that 2 plus 2 always equals 4? And someone who's intellectually honest will say, yes. Do you believe that 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom make water, H2O? Again, an intellectually honest person would say yes. Do you believe that America was founded in 1776, the United States of America? Yes, that is a historical truth. So we have science truth, we have historical truth, we have mathematical truth, we can even have geographic truths. Do we believe that America is north of Brazil? Yes, that is a geographical truth. So if we have geographical truth, historical truth, scientific truth, and mathematical truth, could we have spiritual truth? That's a conversation you can have with someone. And if they say, no, it's absolutely impossible to have spiritual truth, well, why? Why? Is it impossible to have spiritual truth because it's the truth that I believe to be correct? What's funny is that you'll notice most people who oppose spiritual truth, they oppose Christianity. Because we all follow a religion, whether your religion is atheism, in which case you don't believe in a god, or you believe in some other set of beliefs. Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, Hindu. Any of these things are belief systems. And you need some truth in your belief system to have any validity to your belief system. You also need truth for the Christianity belief system, because truth is a core element. We believe that God's word is the truth. That's found in John. But another more important verse that relates to salvation is also found in John. It's John 14:6, where Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. So if Jesus is the truth, the things that he says are true. You know why I'm not the truth? Because at times I lie or I deceive. That's a sin. It's found in Leviticus. It's found in the New Testament. Lying is a sin. Deceit is a sin. I made a video a while ago about situational ethics, that is not based on Christianity. Your truth must be consistent across everything you interact with. That's why it's truth. If it's not truth, it's relative. How good or bad something is can be relative. You can say, oh, this thing is worse than that thing. But now you're force ranking, you're missing the point of the goodness or the badness of an action. See, a good action would bring someone closer to God. A bad action would bring them further away from God. And that's your test. Does it bring someone closer to God or further from God? And some people like to try and bend the rules here. And they try and break truth. And they try and say, well, I didn't cheat on my wife, but I watched porn instead. Did that bring you closer to your wife, though? No, it did not. Did that bring you closer to God? No, it did not. Don't just replace a bad action for a less bad action. That's not the point of having a truth ranking system. A truth ranking system, like the Bible talks about, is designed to let you know what a good action is that glorifies God and a bad action. That's only apparent, it's only relevant if we have truth. God's word is true. We believe it to be the inerrant, the no errors word that is spoken from God. Because of that, we can believe it. We have evidence about New Testament manuscripts and portions of copies of New Testament manuscripts. Over 26,000 of them that allow us to believe the New Testament is accurate, it's reliable, it's trustworthy. But you only trust things that are true. And if the New Testament is true, because that's what Jesus said, we should trust it. If we can also historically back it up, we should definitely trust it. So next time someone says to you, well, that's only true for you, watch out for that person. They're not living a life of truth. And you probably knew that already. But when someone says that, you need to counter them and say, how do you know that's true? How do you know that statement's true? What is your absolute truth? And if they say that they have an absolute truth, then great. They have an absolute truth. And now you can say, and here is what absolute truth means. And by defining the word as absolutely as true under any circumstance, absolute meaning under any circumstance, then we can reevaluate their other previous statement. That's a way to get people to think critically, think about the Bible, think about things that they wouldn't have thought about otherwise, and continue to grow in their knowledge of God. And by growing in their knowledge of God, they'll also begin to draw closer to salvation. That'll take some time, though. Don't rush the process. Let them get there at their own speed. Ask questions, and be ready to answer their questions when they approach you. Have a great day, guys. Keep learning, keep growing. Bye.